Hey, Dan, hope you're having a great week. That's how it started. That's the first line of a message a founder forwarded me a couple weeks back. InsurTech company, real product, sells into carriers and MGAs. Really good guy. And he sends me one of his team's outbound messages and says, Dan, tell me straight, is LinkedIn just dead or is it us? So I read it. Hey, Dan, hope you're having a great week. And then 2 paragraphs about their platform and a calendar link. And then I went and looked at the numbers. 400 messages out, 11 replies. 3 of those were no thanks. 0 sales-focused conversations. And this is a team that had already done the events and done the posting and already made the LinkedIn push. Here's the thing. He asked me the wrong question. It's not, is the channel broken? It's not even, is the message broken? It's actually neither. It's the things sitting underneath both of them. So, welcome back to the Seriously Don't Do That podcast. I'm Dan Griffith, coming at you from Greenville, South Carolina. This is the show where we take the expensive mistakes I've watched founders make and pull them apart so you don't have to pay for them yourself. We are now in the middle of Outreach Engine Month. This is week 3 of that arc, and this one's the tactical one. My goal by the end of these 11 minutes is that you can go build one real thing this week. Not think about it, build it. Let's get into it. So, let me tell you what I actually found when I got under the hood, because I've now seen this exact same thing in health tech, fintech, prop tech, red tech, you name it, tech. Same movie, different logo. There was no list. There was a Sales Navigator search somebody built in March that nobody had opened or looked at since. There was one message, one, going to every human being who turned up on it. Carrier innovation leads, broker principals, IT directors, compliance, all of them got the exact same paragraph. Problem? There was no second touch. Somebody sent, somebody waited, and somebody moved on. And the only thing in that message that changed from person to person was the first name. Look, I put some kind of meat on the smoker most weekends, and I use Rufus Teague on just about everything. It's a great rub. I'm not knocking it. But I had to learn something the hard way. A rub does not make a recipe. What's on the outside? That's the last 2%. The recipe is the temperature, the wood, the wrap, the rest. You cannot rub your way out of a bad cook. That first name is the rub. There was no cook. Now, here's what I want to be very honest with you, because this is the part that everybody gets wrong. The first name is not the villain. The rep isn't the villain either. That rep did exactly what they were handed. The founder's not the villain. He's compensating for something that was never built. And the software, well, it did its job. It put the right name in the right slot. Seriously, don't go looking for somebody to blame in that message. The message is a symptom. It's just the one you can see from outside the building. Because the message failed for the same structural reason a first VP of sales fails. Same reason a burned agency leaves you with a pile of activity and no architecture. There's nothing underneath it. Nobody mapped the buying committee. Nobody wrote a message for a specific role. Nobody built a sequence. Nobody wrote down what a real opportunity even is. I've coached basketball for a long time, and I've learned that you can draw up the prettiest play in the huddle coming out of a timeout. But if you've never run it in practice, if the kids don't know their spots, it's just beautiful drawing on a whiteboard. Calling a play is not a practice plan. Does that make sense? So, let me put some numbers on this, but I want you to be careful with them because the numbers will trick you if you read them fast. Martell's cold email benchmarks, April 2026. Generic templates pull somewhere in the area of 5 to 9% reply range. What they classify as advanced personalization pulls around 18%. Now, everybody quotes that number and walks away. Go read their definition of advanced. Multiple custom data points tied to the role, to the company's situation, and to a trigger event. Read that again. That is not better writing. You cannot write your way to that. Every single one of those data points is the output of a system, a scored list, a committee map, a trigger somebody was actually watching for. The message is just where the architecture becomes visible. That's the whole point. The good message is downstream. Yarden, the growth leader Martell quotes in that benchmark, makes the point I'd make. Deliverability is harder than it used to be. Fine. Personalization and timing still carry the result. And I'd add, timing isn't a writing skill either. Timing is a system. Two more, and neither one is about wordsmith. Quick break brought to you by the Greater Gain Group. You didn't get ignored last week. You got sorted. The risk officer at the bank deleted your note in a second because nobody built the thing that would have told you what she's actually afraid of. EngageKit measured this in December. Personalized request, 9.36%, 72% better than generic. Greater Gain Group builds that thing, the built method. U is for unified outreach. Come check us out at greatergaingroup.com. Now back to the show. The Digital Bloom, November 2025. A 3-7-7 follow-up cadence captures 93% of replies by day 10. 93%. Nobody wrote a better sentence to get that. Somebody built a sequence. My InsurTech founder was capturing whatever came back off touch one and calling the channel dead. In Edelman's 2025 work on hidden buyers, compliance, legal, and finance respond typically to completely different content than your clinical or operational champion, which means it can't be one message. Not because one message is rude, because there's more than one buyer. All right, let me give you a specific assignment, 4 pieces. Number 1, the list. Roughly 300 prioritized accounts out of Sales Navigator. And here's the part nobody does, a written scoring basis. Why this account in this order right now? Written down, not a feel, not a saved search from March. If you don't know the target you're shooting at, then everything's a target. Number 2, role-specific messaging. Complex enterprise deals get decided by a committee, not a person. 8 seats. Every one of them carries a different fear, needs a different question answered, and takes a different piece of proof. Your economic buyer, they fear wasting budget. She needs a business case in her own language. ROI, payback, capital efficiency. Proof is a quantified outcome from an institution that looks like hers. Your champion fears looking foolish for backing you. He needs a tight internal case he can forward without editing a word. Your technical evaluator, they fear a breach or a broken integration. Proof is the completed questionnaire, the SOC 2, the pen test results. Your compliance officer fears a finding or a fine, and she needs evidence you understand her regulatory frame, not a link to your privacy page. All 8 are on the screen. Screenshot it. 3, the sequence. LinkedIn Connect is still your highest yield front door. Connect, then a personalized DM, then a thought leadership share that's relevant to that role, then an invitation, then the calendar, and coordinated with targeted email and event touches against the same accounts. One motion, not 3 teams doing 3 separate things. 4, a written qualification standard. What separates a real opportunity from a nice conversation? If it isn't written, every person on your team has a different definition, and your forecast is fiction. Now, by the way, let me give you the other side of this because you can completely overcook it. Heavy personalization at scale is now suspicious. Buyers can smell the machine-written version from across the room. The message that name drops something you posted 11 weeks ago in a way no actual human would ever bring it up. The tell is specificity without relevance. It proves you looked. It doesn't prove you understand. Seriously, don't do that. Hold the episode. This next part's brought to you by the Greater Gain Group. That's my firm. And this is the mistake we get hired to fix. 200 messages went out last week with the first name pasted at the top. Silence came back, and nobody in your building can say whether the channel's broken or the writing is. Look, that's not your writer's fault. Nothing was built underneath it. That's what Greater Gain Group does. We install the built method, and the U is for unified outreach. We map every role in that buying committee and write to what each one actually fears. Martel put a number on this in April. Generic writing gets a reply 5 to 9% of the time. Writing with real proof in it, 18. Something that just happened there. A fear only their job carries. One proof point, one clear next step. If you don't know the target you're shooting at, then everything's a target. Greater Gain Group. Come visit us at greatergaingroup.com. Now back to the episode. Do that. Generic just gets ignored. This one's kind of creepy. So here's the check you run on your very next message. 4 things: a trigger event, a role-specific pain, a named proof point, a clear next step. And here's the rule. At least 2 of those have to be real. Not 4 slots you filled to say you filled them. 2 real beats, 4 fillers every time. This week, not this quarter, pick one role, one, off that committee blueprint. Pull 25 accounts, write one sequence with the 377 cadence behind it. Run the 4-point check on every message before it goes. Do that, and you walk out of this week able to tell the difference between a message that proves you did research and a message that proves you understood. Those are not the same thing, and your buyer knows which one they got in about 4 seconds. That's buyer clarity feeding unified outreach, the first 2 moves of the BUILT method. If you want the whole architecture written down, the guide's in the show notes. Next week, we take on the channel almost everybody overspends on and overworks. And underworks. Sorry, not overworks. Conferences. And I'm going to make the case that a conference is not a separate source of business. It's another coordinated input into this exact same architecture. Wait till you see what the follow-up data says. So that's Seriously Don't Do That for this week. Look, you don't have a channel problem. You've got an architecture problem wearing a channel costume. Go build one sequence for one role before Friday. If this was useful, share it with the founder who's about to blame LinkedIn. If it wasn't, tell me why. I read everything. Regardless, let's keep the conversation going. I'm Dan Griffith, and this has been Seriously Don't Do That.